March 2025. Georgia's real estate values nosedive. Statewide home prices down 1.2%. Atlanta falling twice as hard, with Clayton County collapsing by 7%. The governor faces cameras and stumbles, caught on official recording admitting, I do not have all the answers." As emergency orders fly, the question is no longer if the crisis will deepen, but how far the fallout might reach. What pushed Georgia's top leader to the breaking point, and what are we still not being told? A real estate economist from Georgia State University reviews the numbers. By March 2025, statewide home prices have fallen 1.2% year over year. In Atlanta, the drop is deeper, reaching 2.1%. Clayton County stands out. Prices there have collapsed by 7% in just 12 months. According to the Georgia Department of Revenue's March housing report, the negative price trend is matched by a surge in inventory across the state. Active listings have risen to their highest level since 2012, with months of supply climbing above 4 in most metro counties. The Economist points to one factor amplifying the downturn: institutional investors. Recent surveys show that more than 20,000 single-family homes in Atlanta are now owned by large real estate funds. As these funds move to offload properties, local agents report a glut of unsold homes, especially in neighborhoods that saw rapid appreciation during the pandemic. The data paints a clear picture. Georgia's housing market is facing a correction not seen in over a decade, with some counties already in free fall. At 14:08 Eastern Daylight Time on April 2nd, 2025, the governor stepped to the lectern for a scheduled press briefing. The official video file, labeled gov_briefing_2025-04-02_14-08.mp4, records the moment in full. According to security badge logs, he entered the press room at 13:57 and would not leave until just after 1500. His voice, usually steady, faltered. 17 seconds of silence passed before he spoke again. I do not have all the answers. This is real pain for Georgians." The words landed heavily, echoing the weight of the market collapse outside those walls. Staff in the wings exchanged worried glances, while senior aides moved in and out of the holding suite as the minutes ticked by. When an aide tried to intervene, the governor shook his head, refusing to step away until he finished. By 14:20, he left the lectern, the briefing cut short. Afternoon meetings were postponed. The sense of exhaustion and strain was impossible to hide, captured in a single, unguarded moment. Drafting of Emergency Order EO-2025-04-05-HS1 began on April 3, 2025, under mounting pressure from both the governor's inner circle and external advisors. The document circulated among senior staff for comments that same evening, with edits logged in the Executive Order archive at 21:16 Eastern. By the morning of April 4th, real estate lobbying groups had submitted feedback. Email attachments and lobbying disclosure forms confirmed their involvement, though the substance of their input remains sealed. The final version, signed at 10:12 a.m. on April 5th, authorized a 30-day foreclosure moratorium, expanded emergency housing funds, and outlined temporary tax relief for distressed owners. A former state policy official recalls, "Orders like this usually take weeks of negotiation. This one was drafted and signed in under 72 hours. There were heated debates, but the record is silent. It's as if the paperwork just stopped." The speed and opacity of the process left many wondering what conversations happened off the books. At 13:02 and 7 seconds UTC on March 12, 2025, Deep Space Network Station DSS-14 at Goldstone registered an anomalous signal on the X-band. precisely 8,425.6 megahertz. The contact log, filed under Parker Solar Probe mission operations, records a signal-to-noise ratio outside normal parameters, no scheduled maneuvers or known solar activity at that moment. 14 minutes later, at 13:16 and 4 seconds UTC, both GOES 16 and GOES 18 satellites reported a spike in X-ray flux, measured at levels not forecast by NOAA's Space Weather Desk. The GOES event was logged as a transient, with no direct correlation to solar flare indices. Raw data packets from the Parker Solar Probe's own downlink, relayed via DSS-43 at 8,418.0 MHz on April 2nd, confirmed the probe remained in nominal operational mode, with no onboard system faults or autonomous resets. Each measurement was independently time-stamped and archived for peer review. The logs present a sequence of events that remains uncontested in the official mission records. Mission scientists reviewing the March 12th anomaly stressed the need for restraint. Dr. Matthew Knight, who co-led the early analysis of interstellar objects, explains, "We have never seen anything like Oumuamua in our solar system. It's really a mystery still. Our preference is to stick with analogs we know, unless or until we find something unique. The alien spacecraft hypothesis is a fun idea, but our analysis suggests there is a whole host of natural phenomena that could explain it. The scientific record documents non-gravitational acceleration and a lack of typical comet signatures, but also a consensus against jumping to extraordinary conclusions. Peer-reviewed summaries and mission briefings maintain a clear standard. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. While Oumuamua's properties are unusual, there is no compelling evidence that it is anything other than a natural object. Mission teams continue to monitor and archive all anomalous signals, making data available for independent review. The guiding principle remains transparency and caution, keeping speculation in check while the search for answers continues." In March 2025, Georgia's housing market recorded a statewide decline of 1.2% year over year, with Atlanta falling 2.1% and Clayton County dropping 7%, according to official Georgia Department of Revenue data. More than 20,000 single-family homes in Atlanta were held by investment funds, intensifying the effect of the downturn. On April 2nd, 2025, Governor Kemp's press briefing, documented in gov_2025-04-02-14-08.mp4, captured his visible struggle to address the crisis, stating, I do not have all the answers." 3 days later, Emergency Order EO-2025-04-05-1 was signed, signaling a rapid policy response. Yet, not all internal discussions or lobbying efforts behind this decision have been made public. Meanwhile, on March 12, 2025, a telemetry anomaly was logged by DSS-14 at 8,425.6 megahertz, followed by a GOES satellite spike, both still unexplained. Scientists urge caution, noting that key data remains under review. Today, the interplay of economic stress and scientific uncertainty leaves Georgia and the nation confronting challenges that are still unfolding, with much of the story yet to be told.